Hello and welcome to One Girl and Her Machines. My name's Jenny and this is a vlog about sewing, so I hope you'll enjoy it. Today I have been making a indigo hack, Tilly and the Buttons indigo hack. I've made it into a top with puffy sleeves because I like the basic top part of the dress, so I've just extended it and made the sleeves slightly bigger so that they can be a bit puffy. And I hope you like it. I've done a little video on how I've done it, and hopefully it will give you an idea if you like to do the same yourself. So thank you, and here goes. Okay, so here I am showing you how I have extended the width of the sleeve for the indigo and made it into a bit of a puffball sleeve. I straightened the bottom and made the arms not taper in, so they go straight, so you've got some width to it. And then I've done similar to the top. I have extended the top down, and I've used the length and shorten line actually as a basis to put the paper on, and just to, I guessed it, to be honest, which you'll find out later on, because I was a bit upset because I actually made it a bit too short. So I'm going to have to put a band on the bottom. But yeah, adding on a piece of paper just at the length and shorten line, and I made it longer. I forgot to take into consideration, however, the dart when I was measuring the front edges. So that shows you how we can all make mistakes, unfortunately. But yeah, did the same again here, added on to the length and shorten line. And yeah, that's how I made the top from the indigo dress. Here I am just obviously snipping the notches in the top and finding all the marks to match up at. Doing the same with the sleeve here, just marking all the notches and making sure that I have all my reference points in place. Now I'm doing the darts on the top so that I know where to draw them to. So I've got the pin in there that marks it, and then I can draw the actual dart on the inside with my chalk pen. Highly recommend these chalk pens. I think they're absolutely fantastic. They're really worth having, so good, and they come out with the wash. I've never had a problem with it ever. Obviously just use a ruler and just give myself a straight line. It makes life a lot easier, a lot easier. Going over the line again because it was a bit faint on this side. So, and here I am just changing the thread on the machine, the bobbin, etc. Just make sure it's the right colour. And there I am just pinning the darts in the bodice, just to make sure that they're in the right place, and sewing them and tying off the ends just to make sure that they haven't got any funny puckers at the end. And here I am showing you. And here I am just ironing the darts, pressing them down towards the bottom hem. Now I am pinning the shoulder seams together before I sew them, making sure obviously that the notches match up, and then sewing them at a 1.5 centimetre seam allowance, and overlocking them, and then again ironing them so that they're pushing towards the back of the bodice. So here I am bias binding the neckline. I really am not a massive fan of facings, so I have bias bound the neckline, and I've tried to use actually quite a thin band of bias binding, you'll see later, and then you can see me just sort of sewing it on, and shortly I will be turning it over, and I've turned it over after trimming it, so it's almost half the size, and I've turned it over and in on itself, so it actually is about half the width of a normal piece of bias binding. you'll see it when you goes through the machine in a minute. It's about 1/2 centimetre wide. There are a few bits that I've missed. It's not my greatest piece of work, I must admit, but it does do the job, and it's not leaning out when I put it on. At least I don't think it was. So I'm quite pleased with this actually. It did the job and it's comfortable. So that for me was the main focus. Yeah, there you go. You can see me sewing the seam, and it's actually really quite small. So now I am adding on the sleeves. I really like the Tillian Buttons way that they add sleeves. So add the sleeve and then sew all the way up from the side seams all the way through. I've done other things before and I much prefer it that way. It's a really nice way of doing them. So yeah, so I've just I've eased in the sleeve caps, because obviously you've got the tighter edge on the actual shoulders, and then you've got the sleeve caps that need to be eased in. Now I'm just overlocking the sleeve caps just to neaten the edges, and then ironing them, obviously, because ironing the seams is better. So now you can see me matching up the side seams and making sure that they are all matching the notches. And it's at this point that I realise I've not made the front of the top long enough, so I've trimmed it off to make it all even all around. I sew up the side seams and overlock them all, and then do the same on the other side. Here I am pinning up the bottom hem of the sleeve, and then I am running it through the machine, leaving a space for the elastic. So now I've got my bodkin and I am threading the elastic through, joining it up, sewing it together, obviously to make a ring, and then I'm closing up the bottom of the sleeve so that it makes a nice little puff ball, and doing the same on the other side. Now you can see me overlocking the hem of the top and sewing it up, because obviously I've made the mistake with the length. I've made it a very small hem. I probably will actually add on a 2-inch band down the bottom, try and make some sort of feature out of it, maybe put a little bit of piping or something so it doesn't look so obvious. But here's the top. It's not too bad, but as a woman of like mid to late 40s, I do not need to lift up my arm and bare my stomach to the class I am teaching. Obviously I've got the elastic in the sleeves. I quite like that elastic. I like the shape. I really like the shape of the top. I just need to make it a little bit longer. Yeah, as I say, not happy about the length, but I will make it longer and I'll make it wearable. That's all good. So thank you for watching my first vlog. I hope it's been informative. I hope you've got something out of it. If you have, I would really appreciate it if you would like to subscribe, and if you would hit the like button, that would be amazing too. And hopefully I will be back here, I don't know, once a week. That would be the ideal, to give you some more sewing tips and show you what I'm doing, and hopefully to engage with some of you people. So thank you very much. Bye.